Ben Wattenberg was a brilliant Jewish man who was a member of the American Enterprise Institute, and he wrote a book, the first paragraph of which says, "The main problem confronting the United States today is there aren't enough white babies being born in this country." He was an advisor to presidents of the United States. He wrote the book in 1987. He says if we don't change this and change it rapidly, white people will lose their numerical majority in this country, and this will no longer be a white man's land. And white women had better pay attention to this. 60% of the fetuses that are aborted every year are white. If we could keep that 60% alive, that would solve our birth dearth. Now, nobody had better tell one of my daughters or granddaughters what they can do with their body.
Trust in Jesus. You cannot have faith in Him apart from the grace of God. The grace of God that causes men to be born again. It causes men to walk in newness of life. You cannot muster that up apart from the grace of God. You must cry out to Him for mercy this morning. Jesus, have mercy on us. Jesus, have mercy on me, a sinner. Young lady, you don't have to be a murderer this morning, young lady. Don't listen to the wicked counsel of these orange-vested people. These orange-vested people who are rubbing you on the back and telling you that it's going to be okay. It's not going to be okay for your baby. It's not going to be okay. Your baby is going to be torn limb from limb. Your baby's head is going to be crushed. Your baby's going to be destroyed with chemicals. It's not going to be okay this morning. And it's not going to be okay for you unless you repent.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night, and we're going to talk about all of these abortion laws that have been going on. It has been making the news for a couple weeks now, and there has been a lot of outrage, a lot of people talking out about it, and you know, I've been sitting back seeing everything unfold. I posted up something on my community tab, I want to say like a month ago, when they first started these abortion bans, and there was so many judgmental people in the comments who feel like they had the right to police other women's bodies. There was so many people, based on my opinion, who threatened to unsubscribe to me and things like that because I don't agree with all of these abortion bans and things like that. And we're going to get into that later on in the video. I'll show you guys my post, what I said, and I'll show you some of the judgmental people, what they said, and so on and so forth. But for now, I'm going to read to you guys what's going on lately. So as you guys know, Alabama just released this new abortion ban where you cannot get an abortion, none whatsoever. The first of the set of abortion bans that came across were the heartbeat ban, and it was you can get an abortion up until the fetus had a heartbeat. And then there was now this new ban where it's like you can't get an abortion at all. If you do, you go to a doctor and he performs it. He's going to get 99 years in prison, so on and so forth. The woman will get repercussions if they go to another state to try to get it performed and things like that. Here is CNN's report when the ban first got passed, and I'm going to read it to you guys right here. Okay, so it says, Alabama sent the most restrictive abortion bill in the country to the governor's desk Tuesday night, with the Senate passing legislation that could punish doctors who perform abortions with life in prison. The state's Republican backers have pushed the legislation, which amounts to a near total ban on abortions in the state, forward with the express goal of overturning Roe versus Wade, the Supreme Court case legalizing abortion. Alabama lawmakers joined legislators in several other states in putting forth legislation to restrict abortion, such as Georgia's recent fetal heartbeat bill. After more than 4 hours of a debate, the Republican-led Senate voted 25-6 to pass HB 314, which would slap doctors with up to 99 years for performing an abortion. The Alabama House passed the bill earlier the month. The law only allows exceptions to avoid a serious health risk to the unborn child's mother, for ectopic pregnancy and if the unborn child has a lethal abnormality. Democrats reintroduced an amendment to exempt rape and incest victims, but the motion failed on an 11-21 vote. So basically, they put up this thing, and then Democrats were like, wait. What about the people who get pregnant by their uncles, their child predators, their fathers, and things like that? Like, we gotta stop that. And what about the people who get pregnant due to being raped? We gotta stop that as well. Like, they have to be able to, abort those babies if they so choose to. And that motion failed. Anyways, moving on, it says Republican Governor Kay Ivey will have 6 days to sign the legislation, though the bill would not take effect until 6 months after becoming law. Ivey has not publicly taken a stance on the bill, but has previously aligned herself as anti-abortion, blah, 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 blah. So you guys are aware of that. This almost near total ban caused a lot of uproar and a lot of people feeling a way about it. Well, there has been a lot of researchers and a lot of people talking out about it. There has also been a lot of celebrities who have talked against this abortion ban as well. Some of the celebrities who have talking out about this include Rihanna and most recently Keke Palmer. Keke Palmer took to Twitter to kind of express her feelings on abortions, and she even shared how at one point she herself got an abortion and how she was disheartened by all of these restrictive bans and things like that. Well, of course, you can't express yourself in these times because there are people who are so judgmental and everybody feels they have the right to police your body. So just like me, when I expressed my feelings on abortions, she got attacked as well for her views because people can't respect your views and have their own views. They have to try to make you mirror their views instead of being like, yo, I feel like this and this is how you feel. But like I said, she got mobbed the same way I got mobbed when sharing my opinion, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what she had to say. Okay, so she originally took to Twitter to try to share her abortion story with the world and kind of give her feelings on all of these abortion bans. She was inspired to tell her abortion story because a woman by the name of Busy Phillips says 1 in 4 women have had an abortion. Many people think they don't know someone who has, but #me. So let's do this. If you are also the 1 in 4, let's share it and start to end the shame. Use #me and share your truth. So Keke Palmer decided to join in because, as you know, a lot of people tried to criticize and humiliate you for your choices. And Busy Phillips wanted to encourage women to be uplifted in sharing their stories. I'm going to read to you guys what people has written up about this because the tweet has now been deleted. And then I'm going to show you the tweets that followed after that are still there after she, tried to express this. Actress Keke Palmer on Thursday joined the thousands of women sharing their abortion stories. She said she felt disheartened about the newly law passed in Alabama that effectively bans abortion. Palmer, 25, tweeted that she decided to get an abortion because it was not a good time in her life to raise a child. I was worried about my career responsibilities and afraid that I could not exist as both a career woman and mother, she tweeted. The Los Angeles Times reported. Palmer has since deleted the tweet and explained that the topic may have been too nuanced to express on Twitter. She then followed it up with a tweet and it says, Twitter is sometimes too flat and too short to express intimate sentiments, words without context, very annoying. Then she also came back with another tweet and she says, I am disheartened about hearing the news in Alabama. I feel as if women's rights laws are going backwards. Individual choice is being taken. I'm truly so confused at the world right now and the policies that follow. #me. So she was among several people who wanted to share their abortion stories, and she gave the #me that this person has started to encourage women to share their stories. She also then added in addition, and she said, making individual choices is not a betrayal to your faith, mainly because God knows your heart and your journey. God never judges. I hate that it's always this versus that instead of an I understand your perspective. And that was kind of her talking about her abortion story. And I can't agree with her more because, like I said, when I gave my feelings on abortion, there was a lot of people who tried to mob me, tell me that they were unsubscribing from me. They were trying to hit me with Bible verses and things like that. So I understand Keke Palmer's sentiments where she says God understands your journey. But again, like I said, there are so many people who want to police your body. There are so many people like these people in Alabama who try to take women's rights and the right to choose away. And I feel like that is a choice that should be given to the woman. Now, I agree that abortion should not happen in late terms. When you hit 4 months, 5 months, no, you should not be getting an abortion. But I feel like women should be able to make the decision to get an abortion up until the 3-month mark that it has been for quite some time. Anyways, there are other celebrities who have also talked out about this. Rihanna, like I mentioned earlier, she also spoke out about this. She tweeted up, or she posted up a post on her Instagram, and she posted a diagram of all of the men who were making choices on women's bodies. In the post, she said, take a look. These are the idiots making decisions for women in America. Governor Kay Ivey, shame on you. And then another person commented on that post and they said, all with that same stupid smirk, F you emoji. These are the same people that say gun laws won't stop gun violence, and they think abortion laws will stop abortions, ? Okay, so in addition to everybody who has been speaking out against it, and it's not just Rihanna and Keke Palmer, there has been a lot of celebrities who have been speaking out. Well, it looks like Los Angeles County is now trying to take action as well. And I'm going to play this news clip so that you guys could be brought up to speed on what Los Angeles is now doing as a protest against Alabama for this restrictive ban.
All new at 9, one city is banning employees from traveling to Alabama on business. It's a response to the state's new law banning most abortions. Josh Gant on your side to explain what it could mean for the state.
Yeah, we're seeing this in states that pass strict abortion laws. Los Angeles County says it's not doing business with Alabama for at least a year. This week, the LA County Board of Supervisors voted to implement a 1-year travel restriction for Alabama for official LA County business, except for emergencies. This comes just a couple of weeks after Governor Kay Ivey signed the most restrictive abortion bill into law. The law bans nearly all abortions. LA County Supervisor Hilda Solis calls it an attack on the residents of Alabama. This also comes as abortion rights groups continue to rally in solidarity around the country.
The bans that are happening across the country to remove access to safe and legal abortion are not going to stop abortions from happening. They're just going to stop safe abortions from happening.
Now, on that LA County travel ban, a spokesperson for the County Board of Supervisors said they are not able to make an interview happen today. Yesterday, Mayor Randall Woodfin said the new state abortion bill may cost Birmingham 2 technology companies. The mayor did not identify those companies. I'm Josh Gant of UBRC, Fox 6 News on your side.
Okay, so as you see that there are a lot of people who are protesting against this abortion ban. You see Los Angeles County taking action. You see celebrities speaking out against it. And then with that comes a lot of conspiracy theories. I showed you guys a clip in the beginning of this video where there was a woman who said that 60% of the population who had abortions were white women. And her speaking out about how there was this guy who worked for the presidents who his mission was try to figure out a way to keep the population of white Americans, the majority. And I'm going to play that again, but this time I'm going to play what she said in full so that you get the full context of what she's saying and everything like that. Here goes.
We are going to decide where people live. You need to realize that there are more children attending segregated schools in the United States today than there were previous to Brown versus Board of Education, and that's a fact. You need to realize that it is not the intent of white people to let this situation change in favor of anyone but themselves. And right now, white people are really frightened. If you don't understand the destruction of Planned Parenthood offices, and you don't understand the wall that we're going to build on the southern border of the United States, you haven't read the book, The Birth Dearth by Ben Wattenberg. Ben Wattenberg was a brilliant Jewish man who was a member of the American Enterprise Institute, and he wrote a book, the first paragraph of which says, "The main problem confronting the United States today is there aren't enough white babies being born in this country." He was an advisor to presidents of the United States. He wrote the book in 1987. He says if we don't change this and change it rapidly, white people will lose their numerical majority in this country, and this will no longer be a white man's land. Now, I'm not misrepresenting this. I'm telling you almost exactly what he says. He says there are 3 things we can do to solve this. Number 1, we could pay women to have babies, as they have been doing in Western European nations for years. Then he says, and these are his words, not mine, "Unfortunately, we would have to pay women of all colors to have babies, so we don't want to do that." He says the second thing we could do is increase the number of legal immigrants that are allowed into this country every year. Then once again he says, unfortunately, the vast majority of those wanting to come to this country today are people of color, so we don't want to do that. The third thing he says, and women had better pay attention to this, 60% of the fetuses that are aborted every year are white. If we could keep that 60% alive, that would solve our birth dearth. Does that sound like racism to you? And if it doesn't, I want to know why it doesn't. If it doesn't, you don't understand what racism is. And I think it does. When we close Planned Parenthood clinics because we think they're there only for abortion, we need to take another look. They are used for many, many, many things, and many women need the things that they can get from Planned Parenthood clinics. But we are willing to do away with all that good to avoid allowing white women to have control of their own bodies. Now, nobody had better tell one of my daughters or granddaughters what they can do with their body. You haven't that right. Now, it would be interesting if we were as concerned about sperm cells, wouldn't it?
At the end of this video, I was going to revisit the post that I did over a month ago when all of these abortion bans started happening. And again, I was going to go through all of the stuff that people said that they were trying to police women's bodies. But I think, it's irrelevant. I don't even need to do that. My word is what I said. I said what I said. If people want to unsubscribe, unfollow me, not watch my videos because I feel like a woman should have the choice to choose, then that so be it. I'm starting to get used to people trying to police other people's thoughts and opinions, and I'm being used to this extreme judgmental society that I was not used to before. When I give my commentary, I try to share my opinions, but I try not to come off as being judgmental, just trying to more so give my assessment on the situation and just what I think about it. But, we live in a world, like I said, where there are a lot of people who think that if you do not think like them, that it's a problem. They feel like if you do not do what they do, it's a problem. They feel like whatever you do with your body is there, like somehow they have a right to no, so I'm going to leave it at this post that I seen on Facebook that I felt was pretty accurate. It says, "You're pro-life until your wife is told by the doctor that her pregnancy is non-viable, her baby has no kidney or brain, and will most likely die before birth. Under new law, he cannot remove the fetus, even if it is stillborn. And your wife is forced to follow through with the delivery. You get to watch the fallout of her having to tell the family, friends, co-workers over and over what is going to happen when they ask her when she's due. You're pro-life until the doctor tells you and your wife that she will most likely die if the pregnancy is brought to term. Along with the baby, your future, your soulmate, your everything will likely disappear in less than 1 short year, and nobody can help you. You're pro-life until your daughter is raped and you're forced to watch her suffer through her pregnancy only to have her die in a failed attempt to abort at home. It's not your body. It's not your choice. There are many different circumstances. It doesn't always mean what you think it means. No one bill tells a man what he could do. Not one bill tells a man what to do with his body. Not one bill makes a man step up and be a dad. This is not okay. I agree it's not a form of birth control, but a woman should be able to decide on her own, as it is her and her alone who has to deal with the decisions. A little food for thought. And I wanted to share that in closing because, again, there are a lot of people who disregard situations until they're put in a situation and then all of a sudden they want to hop and switch. No, you're pro-life until your life is faced with a decision that you got to make and you got to decide. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that it's whack. I want to know what you guys think, and people who are disrespectful, will get blocked, because when I posted this on my community tab and I talked about it, there was a lot of people who thought that because of my opinions on what I would choose to do with my body, because I have the right to, they felt like, they could come at me sideways and say all kind of stuff just because my opinions on what I would choose to do with my body does not mirror the opinions that they want to choose to do with their body. I am a mother who has went full term with a pregnancy. I went 9 months with my daughter. I've never had an abortion or a miscarriage. And, just going forward, just because, it's my choice to not want to give birth again, I feel like I should have that choice if I choose to utilize it. Not saying that I'm going to just go out here and just be getting abortions because I'm 32 years old and I've never had an abortion in my life. But I think that it's wrong to give away the option so that you can choose what you decide to do with your body. After all, it is you who has to deal with the consequences, and there is no law that says that a guy has to step up. You are the one who are 9 times out of 10 gonna be there and have to be there. Will they go after child support? Sure, but is that always successful? No. And the times where child support is successful, there is no law that says that the father ever has to come and be an actual active parent. There's no law for that. If the mother has the child, she's taking care of her responsibility, and the father gets child support taken out, that's the only requirement that he has if there is a successful attempt at child support. Also, I'm also a person, after I had my daughter, I had postpartum preeclampsia. And if I had not went to the doctor when I went to the doctor, I could have in turn died. And I feel like it's not a person's right to tell somebody that they have to, go through something risky, because the doctor also informed me that if I ever get pregnant again, I will be very high risk due to the nature of how my pregnancy ended with my daughter and things like that. I had to be readmitted to the hospital. I was there, I want to say, was it like a couple days I was in the hospital? I had to be on this like magnesium drip. I had to be away from my child. And it's just like, that's just something that I never want to relive. It was so like, I don't even know how to put it in words, but for a person to try to tell somebody, oh, you have to risk that and you have to do that. No, F that. I do what I want to do with my body. I make the decision that I want to make with my body, especially the risk that I know that my body has. And no, abortion should not be a form of birth control. And again, like I said, I've never in my life had an abortion, but the right that there is that choice, I feel like we should have that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave on that note. And it is what it is. Again, if you get in my comment section and you get disrespectful, you will be blocked, because you can disagree with abortions and that's okay. But to try to police my body, to try to control what I do with my body, to try to be disrespectful because my opinion does not match your opinion, you will be blocked. You have to protect your energy, right? A lot of people will be like, oh, you just want people to agree with you. No. But at the same time, when you come disrespectful and you come at me with a certain energy, I got to protect my energy, boo. And whether it's a comment section or not, I don't need that up over here. And that's just that. All right, guys. Peace.